Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek, coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's Thursday, June 6th, and we're going to try to put this out as early as possible. I know there are a lot of day games on Thursday in Major League Baseball. Small board, but we do have start of some finals. We'll get to that as well. But before we move forward, we have to look back. Transparency, first and foremost. We will push that on this podcast, and I'll push it every chance I get. I'll sound like a broken record on purpose because this industry just lacks transparency. Listen, if you're going to share your results, if you're going to put your opinion out there, you got to put it all the way out there. You can't just share your short-term results. You can't just talk about your hot streaks. You need to let your followers, your supporters, your detractors conclude for themselves whether the information's a product of good luck, bad luck, or is there truly an edge there? And that'll be the case if you're willing to show those long-term results that have statistical significance. Because again, a 10-1 run tells us nothing. Winning over the last 3 months tells us nothing. What tells us something is the last 1,000 bets, last 2,000 bets. And unless you just started betting a week ago, a month ago, you have those results. That's the truth. So if someone's not sharing them, you know why. That's just the bottom line. So let's go over ours real quickly. We're coming off another winning night. Short term, obviously, over the last 3 days, we've picked up 13, 14 units over a double-digit ROI. That's irrelevant. Sure, I could push that if I'm selling packages, but I'm not looking to push packages. If I was, I would just keep promoting. I'm number one in profit over the last 365, and I have my big bet today, my biggest bet today, my bigger bet today. That's all I have to do. Sell, 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 sell. There's new bettors coming in every single day that would eat that up. Dude, that's not what I'm trying to do at all, at all. I'm trying to help those sports bettors that are taking it seriously, meaning they're putting up their capital, their hard-earned money, trying to get a return on that investment. And also help those that are just doing it for entertainment and for fun, keep it that way and not get themselves in trouble. And more importantly, lower the house edge as much as possible. So at least their bankroll lasts as long as possible as well. Listen, if you're making negative EV bets, you're going to go broke. That's just the mathematical certainty. The key is how long it takes. Just like Blackjack, I'll bring it back to Blackjack. If you play perfect Vegas 6 strategy, even on a 6-deck game, they're only going to have about a 0.5% edge on you, meaning they're expected to make 50 cents out of every 100 you bet. So if you're betting $10 hands, you could play a very long time before you truly lose your bankroll. It will happen inevitably because, again, you're going up against negative EV. But with that said, you will play a long time before that happens. Unlike if you're increasing your bet size and it's negative EV, then it's going to be a lot quicker that they're going to be holding your loot. Now let's look long term because that's what matters to me most. Over this year, we now have 5 months in the books. Okay, we're over that 50 unit mark, which I like because at 40 units, we're double-digit ROI. So we're moving in the right direction. That's for sure. Last year, increased capital by 80%. Let's see what we can do this year. More importantly, turn profit 8 of the last 9 years. I will keep bragging about that because I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. And I've documented every single pick I've released. Finally, last 365. If you started with me last June, where are you sitting? Well, you're sitting nicely. You got over a 2% ROI on over 3,200 bets. That's advantage play. That's advantage play. I'll put that up against any results out there. Let's go. All right. So good stuff. Good stuff. Now, let me give you some action. There was some WNBA. We got down on the Liberty, New York Liberty, but it seems the line now is moving against us, meaning we laid the 7. I saw it get some respect, but now I'm seeing as low as 6.5. So obviously there's some resistance on our New York Liberty side, as obviously another betting syndicate likes the dog. I also trade moves with guys that do the job I do. And one of the guys that moves WNBA stuff gave me Washington +4 and 4.5 and 4. His group got down. I didn't have an opinion on the game, so I didn't release it to subscribers, especially since once these guys hit it, it went to 3.5 pretty quickly. I got the 4 for myself because I piggyback what he sends me more times than not, unless it's opposite me. But I only release the subscribers when I bet more on top of it. Because again, I only like to narrow it down to the very strongest stuff. And even though it appears like we have volume, rest assured, I bet so much more for the groups I move for. Like on a Saturday of college football, just sides and totals, not even first halves or second halves, I'll have 40 to 50 positions for a Saturday college football. Oh, we started betting them on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and that day. But we have that many positions to be decided on. So I try to narrow it down as much as possible. Speaking of narrowing down, I don't have a lot to share, but quality over quantity. I believe I released, let me see how many plays to subscribers already in Major League Baseball. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we got 8 plays already in Major League Baseball, and I gave out 2 5% plays already. Listen, I bet what's warranted. If there's a day that 7 positions warrant a 5%, that's what I'm going to do. I don't fire 5% just because I have a hot streak and I could push a bigger package. I do it because the implied win probability is off enough to reflect that's how big of a bet I should make, my max bet. I found it in the NBA Finals, and I found it in Saturday's UFC card. Those have already been released to subscribers, and you can get them at wagertalk.com if you're interested. Now, let's get to some Major League Baseball action, some free premium plays for Thursday's Major League Baseball. I'll give you a side that we bet the game and the first half. That was Toronto Blue Jays. I really like the Blue Jays in this one. Let's hope this isn't very early. All right, it's one of the early games. Hopefully we get this out as soon as possible because we did lay -110, -115, -120 with Toronto. We also laid -110, -115, 120 in the first 5 and laid -0.5 a run, +110, +115, +120. So the Toronto as a home dog, the groups I work with, multiple groups, tried to get down as much money as they can. Remember, the limits are smaller, especially in Major League Baseball, especially if you're marked as a sharp account. So they have to get creative. And to get a bigger bet down, sometimes they have to bet first 5 as well. And you could see by my rating how strong I think it is. I'm not firing 5%, but I am betting game and first 5. And I'll give you one more that's like that, where they bet the side, the run line, first 5, run line, first 5. And that's Washington, another home dog. So we're going to take Washington, bet them. We took them +140, 145, 148 for the groups I work with. We also laid +1.5 up to -115, I believe. Up to 120 is good there. And then in the first 5, we also took +130, 132, 128, around that range, and took the +0.5 up to -120, 125. So free premium plays for Thursday. 4% play, Toronto -111, Toronto -120, first 5. That's a 3% play. And then Washington +138, 2% play. Washington +1.5, -120, 2% play. Washington +130, first 5, 2% play. And Washington +0.5, -120, first 5. So you could see I broke it down in 2% plays. It comes to 8%. But we're not betting 8% of our bankroll. What do you know? We're not betting 2%. We're betting 0.25 of that. We're betting 0.25 of 8%. Why? Because we don't want to go broke. We manage risk correctly. That's how we turn the profit 9 of the last 10 years. And while you're on, something just came in live. So let me share that with you here. All right. It's basketball in El Salvador, Liga Mayor del Baloncesto. You can mark this down. Time 8:42. Pacific time, 8:42 Pacific time, 11:42 a.m. Eastern time. We are betting basketball in El Salvador, Liga Mayor de Baloncesto, and we're taking Metapon BC plus 8.5 and plus 8 over Santa Ana, BC. So that's Metapon BC plus 8.5 and 8 over Santa Ana in El Salvador basketball. And I have a boxing bet for you too. Juan Carlos Abreu up to minus 150 against Thomas LaManna. We're taking Abreu, Juan Carlos Abreu, up to minus 150 in that boxing. So you got some premium plays for you today. NBA Finals. I like the under. In game one. I like the under for sure. We got a 5% on that one as well. In the NHL, I like Edmonton. In the series. Nothing really game one, but I like Edmonton in the series. Let's get some questions out of the way. And please, go down, smash that like button every day. I got this up even earlier. I'm doing this today where I should be trading stocks. How about those stocks? Look at PayPal. What did we say? We're going to get in around average 63. It's up to $66 today. It's about 5% return in 48 hours. Not too bad. I'm very efficient at reading charts. There's a few things I can do where I believe I'm world class. I could beat a sports betting market regardless of the market, more or less. If it's a fair blackjack game, I'll bury you and show me a stock chart, and probabilities are in my favor that I'll let you know which way that price is going. So remember that Brazil ETF's even up. The Brazil ETF's even up. And as I say, every pullback, we're buying some gold. Every pullback, we're buying some uranium. Gold pulled back to 214 in the paper trading just a day and a half ago. It's now back up to 218. So those are the pullbacks we're looking to add to our positions. That's what we're looking to do, because as the market is still going to go up another month, it's going to look nice, but the damage is coming. July and end of the year, December, mark my words, world chaos December. I hope I'm wrong. But the charts show a lot of chaos coming in the world come December. All right, let's get to these questions. And please share this, comment, like, even if you disagree. I appreciate you more than I can explain, seriously, that you take the time. And, I'm taking my time, so do the right thing. All right, Ace, for NBA Finals, have the syndicates already gotten down early in the week, or are they going to wait till tip-off? Has anything stood out so far? Great question. NBA Finals, things like that, they're in no rush. They understand that the market is saturated with so much unsophisticated money. More times than not, the sports books are going to be forced to give them the best of it. Meaning, if a game's one-sided with so much public money, to minimize the risk, they're going to adjust the line, even if guys like me could walk in and get the best of it, get plus 110 on a coin flip. That's okay, because they have so much money on heads, they're willing to give me plus 110 on tails to help eliminate some of that risk. So there's no rush for the betting syndicates, and that's reflected in the line. You're not seeing volatility, right? Line open 6.5, still sitting 6.5. The total open 217, 215.5, 214, 216. It's just right around there. So it's being bet. You're seeing support and resistance on the total. You're seeing support and resistance on the side. And the volatility is very, very little. So, those aren't very tradable events. That's why the betting syndicates are waiting. They'll sit back. They'll wait for more information to come in, somewhere to find that inefficiency. They did find it. In the series, and I released that to subscribers because I agreed that there was definitely some value there. Out of respect to my subscribers, you guys understand. Okay, next, I got a question. Ace, first, I love how you're honest and give plays so much. Respect for you, my man. Thank you. Gamble God, thank you. And that was President JB asking about the NBA Finals. I appreciate you, brother. I like the under game one, even though the line's moving against me. It was 215.5. Now I'm seeing 216.5. So obviously some over money, getting some respect. I haven't concluded. It just happened in the last hour, whether it's public money pushing it or whether a group got down. None of the groups I work with are behind that. So I'm not sure, but I'm not the only one moving money. That's for sure. That much I can promise you. My question is it bad to bet $1,000 every play, never change bet, always $1,000 every play? Is that smart? I'm considering to buy a year with you, see if that works, and a winner by the end of the year. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I would do that. I would bet that's a good, you can do that. You can definitely do that. Flat bet everything. You can see from my results year after year, we definitely win a lot more than we lose. We turn the profit 9 out of 10 years. And even flat betting, there were some years you'd make more betting it that way than breaking it down between, 0.75, 1% here and just flat betting. But here's the key. To bet that thousand a play, you know the kind of money you got to have, right? You need to have, let's do some math. Let's do some math. If you have a $400,000 bankroll times 1%, that's $4,000. You want to bet $1,000, you're betting 0.25. It's exactly what you need. If you have 400,000, you could flat bet 1,000 and make money with me year after year, like I did. And never have to, at least in the past, never have to replenish that bankroll. I'd say come with $500,000 and we could be a little more comfortable. If you come with 800,000, then our risk of ruin would probably be closer to that 4-5% range, where I'll double your bankroll 95 out of 100 times. 5 out of 100, you'll lose it. If you come with $1 million and you want to flat bet 1,000 on each, then I could lower your risk of ruin to 1,000 to 1%. If you have $1 million and we're betting 1,000 per every play I give you, you will be able to bet that comfortably and have your risk of ruin be at 1%. So 99 out of 100 times, I'll double your bankroll. 1 out of 100 times, I'll lose your bankroll. That's just what the math shows. That's not my opinion. That's the math. And that's based on 10 years of results. That's what would have happened. Just last year, here's what would have happened. Again, if you had that, if you were going for 1% risk of ruin and you had that $1 million last year, you would have won 800,000. You would have picked up 800,000 flat betting like that, because we increased it by 80%. Doing it my way. And I think flat betting would have been at least that, maybe even higher, maybe lower or higher, 10,000, whatever. You know what I mean? But when you're talking 800,000, if there's a difference to even 750,000 or 850,000, like you made a shitload of money flat betting like that. But that's the bankroll you had to have. If you have a $50,000 bankroll and you're betting 1,000 per play, you're going to go broke. And that's just the math. You're betting 2% per play. If you're going to bet that so much volume, it's just a matter of time. I mean, you may get lucky where you come out ahead and build up such a bankroll where now you have the units to warrant betting a dime on each play. But if you come out of the gate cold, you will be at risk of ruin. If only having 50 units, 100 units even, your risk of ruin really increases. I mean, so that's the key. What do you want your risk of ruin to be? 1%, 5%, 20%? What are you comfortable with? Everyone's risk tolerance differs. Next video, talk about what it means to have an edge over the books. I'll do that silly willy. I will put that in the next video for sure. That one's going to take a little bit of a while. Actually, let's do it now. Here's what it means to have an edge over the books. Here's what it means. That you're capable of finding coin flips that are giving you greater than even money. We all know that a coin flip is 50-50. So if I bet $1, you should bet $1. The winner should win the other's $1. Nobody has an edge there. Now, what if I say heads, I got heads, you got tails. If it lands on heads, I get $1.50. If it lands on tails, you get $1. I'm going to break you. It's just a matter of time. In one flip, two flips, you may be up. It may come tails, tails, tails. You may be up 3 on me, 5 on me. But eventually, the quarter's going to even out because we know it's 50-50. That's the probability. So eventually, after 100 flips, it's going to be closer to 50-50. Well, these 50, you only got $1. My 50, I got $1.50. I'm ahead on you. There's nothing you could do. That's my edge. That shows after a long sample size. Same with sports betting. Over 5 flips, 10 flips, 15 flips, my edge may not materialize. Over 100 flips, 200 flips, 1,000 flips, math dictates it will. And that's what having an edge. Can you be profitable over 1,000 bets, over 2,000 bets? If you're able to do that, you've shown that you found those coin flips giving you better than even money. Again, great bets lose all the time. Terrible bets win all the time. They just don't do it enough to be profitable. You understand? Just like a roulette wheel. Again, people win. They put $10 on the number. It hits. They win $360. They're happy. That looks like a great bet. $360 for 10, right? But there's 38, 39 numbers on that roulette wheel. So the true odds, they should have got paid 38, 380, 390. Since they didn't, they don't have an edge. If they sit there and spin enough, eventually they're going to go broke. That's the edge. That's the edge. And in sports betting, it's the exact same thing. The exact same thing. The line should be minus 150. It's minus 120. I lay minus 120. I keep doing that. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. After 1,000 bets, if I'm up, then I've proven I was right. Those lines should have been minus 150, not minus 120. I'm not going to win every time, even I find an efficient line. That doesn't guarantee a win. What it guarantees is that if I could repeat that process over and over again, I am now the favorite. I am now in the driver's seat like the sports book is. How they have an edge over the bettors, I now have an edge over the book. It's an important question. That's why I want to knock it out now and not forget it. Ace, with getting a percentage of profits from your people you move for, is there enough ROI for both you and them to profit? Curious how the math works. Absolutely. Absolutely. For some guys, I don't do free rolls anymore. I offer free rolls. I used to get free rolls, meaning I explained that before, where you get a percentage of the account. Nothing comes out of your pocket when you lose, but you have to make it up when you win. So it's a free roll with a makeup, and we call it a work off. You gotta work it off. There's other accounts where I'll take now. This is what I do because now I have a bankroll to afford it. So I don't need the free roll. I don't need them to cover me when we lose. Now I could come out of pocket. So now I can take up to 50% of each account. So if I get them an account where I could bet up to 5,000, if I'm betting 5,000, 2,500 of that I can keep is mine. And so that's how the bet is divided. That's how there's more than enough edge for everyone, because I'm just making a $2,500 bet. They're just making a $2,500 bet. The only good thing, the difference is they're getting me down at their number. So I don't have to go find it. These guys are originating. So once they fire into an account of mine, I know they got me the best number. So that's where I benefit. Where they benefit is I guarantee their money when they win. So even if the bookie tells me go fuck yourself, I pay them on Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever my agreement is. I like to get it out of the way early in the week. I don't like to wait till late in the week, because a lot of times you have a different balance at late in the week, and you start, you owe a guy 8,000, but you're up 9,000 for the week, and you're like, oh, let's carry it. No. Ace settles. I lost 8. I'm going to pay you 8. If I'm up 9, pay me 9 when that week's over. I could lose it by Saturday. I want to pay you. I want the reputation is good pay. That's when people come to you, when they know you're good pay, when they know you're going to pay them regardless of what happens. Finally, is double exposure a good game to play, or regular blackjack? Regular blackjack. Any of those exotics, just greater edge for the house. None of those games are a lower edge than regular blackjack. None of them. They're just a greater edge for the house. It's just a more creative way for them to separate the naive gamblers from their money quicker. That's all, by increasing the edge and making it maybe a little more fun. So they're willing for the exchange of more action and fun. They'll lose money quicker. But that's all it is. compared to regular blackjack. Regular blackjack is beatable. We know that. The reason it's beatable is one reason only. There's only one reason it's beatable, and I'm going to show you right now. This is what makes blackjack beatable different than every other game. Actually, these aren't open yet. Ace never leaves home without a deck of cards. Come on. Here's why it's beatable. Here's a normal deck of cards, 52 cards, okay? 52 cards. Let's say the first hands go out, and this is what's dealt. There's 3 players and the house, okay? Here's what's dealt. I'm going to show you real quickly, see if you can see it with the camera, okay? Here's what's dealt. What do you see? There's the players, ace, ace, ace. I'm the house 10. And here's what we're going to do. Then, and I duck. Okay. Regardless, what do we know now? Forget the count. That's the count right now is -1. With this, it's -2. Since you don't know, it's -1. The count right here is -1. That's irrelevant. Okay. Here's what matters most. I just can't help myself. That's why I gave the count. Here's what matters most. This is what makes blackjack beatable. That now everyone at the table knows that for the rest of this shoe, if we're playing single deck, even if it's double deck, you'll just do the math. But let's say it's single deck. Everyone sitting there now knows there's only one ace left, right? So the chances of getting blackjack the rest of this shoe are very low, very slim, almost non-existent. Because there's even 4 of us, 3 in the dealer. So the chances of me getting a blackjack now are almost nil. So who has the edge, right? The house has the edge. The aces are gone. There's no other game on the floor that you can do that with. With craps, every roll is independent. Like every spin is in every roll is independent. Yes, every roll is independent. If I roll the dice and it comes out 6-2, doesn't mean anything. The next roll could come out 6-2. The next roll could come out 6-2. They're all random. There's no memory. The next could come. It doesn't matter. There's a randomness to it. Just like a roulette wheel. There's a randomness to it. There is no memory. Every time it spins, the chances of red and black are 50-50. Even if there's 10 reds in a row, the 11th spin of the roulette wheel is still 50-50. It doesn't change the math. Blackjack changes the math. With every card that comes out, the probabilities change. If the first 10 cards you see are all 4 aces, all 4 face cards, then you know they're gone. The face cards and aces are gone. And we know that's the most advantageous for the player. So the edge is greater for the house. That's the simplest way I could put it. The difference between blackjack and every other game. Blackjack has memory. Every other game is independent of the previous action. This roll is independent of what happened last roll. This spin is independent of what happened last spin. Not so in blackjack. This hand will affect next hand and next hand and next hand and next hand. That's the beauty. That's what makes it beatable. Please go down, share, like, comment. Love you guys. Let's see if we could get it. Washington money line, Toronto money line. We got the +1.5s as well. Let's do some damage. Have a great Thursday. Be back Friday.